Can you imagine if you went to the doctor and you were not feeling well and his diagnosis was completely false and you started taking medicine that you weren't supposed to take? You started changing your diet, your lifestyle, doing all these different things. He said you need bed rest, and when actuality you need to exercise more, so on and so forth. And he gave you the wrong diagnosis. And I think many in the spiritual community, we all make this mistake that we think the answer is more spirituality. We have a diagnosis, we feel unhappy, we feel sad, we feel our life is not in order, and there's not this inner sense of peace and contentment. And we diagnose ourselves as being deficient. And the answer is, well, I need to read more books, I need to meditate more, I need to pray more, I need to get into religion, I need to find a guru, I need to buy a new house, I need to find the right mate, on and on and on. So we are doomed to failure because the diagnosis is inaccurate. And if you don't accurately diagnose what is bothering you, what is going on within you, you're not going to find the proper solution. And what I found one of the most effective methods of improving our inner sense of well-being is not always necessarily seeking more food, spiritual food to feed ourselves, but it's actually shifting the way we live our lives and starting with small incremental shifts. But I think the root cause of a lot of our frustration and sadness and disharmony, whether it be in relationships or in our personal lives, is very simple. And we make it overly complicated. It's a lack of self-discipline. It's our inability to delay gratification. It's our inability to see into the future, how our decisions today are going to affect our future tomorrow. It's our inability to say no to additional burdens, responsibilities, obligations. It's our inability to be disciplined when we communicate honest and efficiently when we communicate with other people. It's our inability to say no to spending of money. It's our inability to, or rather I should say it's our ability to procrastinate, to put off our dreams, to put off things that we should do, even simple tasks. We have this ongoing, and it's something that I'm constantly trying to improve at. It's not something overnight that I'm going to be, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be self-disciplined. It starts building, you start building with small little habits. Something as simple as instead of putting your clothes on the bed, you hang it up or you put it in the laundry. Instead of, you have to make a phone call, instead of putting it off till tomorrow, you make the phone call today. Instead of putting off the dentist next month, you do it today. If there's a light is flashing on your car, instead of saying, oh, I think I'll go get this checked out next week or the week after that. It's taking care of things as in the immediate, in the now. And there's a really good time management technique if you touch something. So for example, if you have a bill or something that you're touching or you're reading an email, this was a big one for me. And this is the one I struggle, and a lot of people on YouTube and I'm trying to work on and improve. I'd get emails or there'd be a particular comment I'd like to respond to, and it would constantly, like, I can't do it today, I'm really, really busy, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'd read the email that I get, or email I get in my inbox. I read it and then I say, okay, I'll answer that later. Instead of just shooting off a quick response and boom, getting it done. And little habits like these, if you start small, they start having that ripple effect. They start moving into other areas of your life. And really you feel a natural high, a sense of exhilaration when it's like a sense of mastery. That your need for pleasure, your ego, whatever you want to call it, is not the master of your life. And that's why I think in many martial arts or religions and stuff like that, self-discipline or the ability to say no is such an essential attribute in order to progressively, to grow, to move along your path with speed. And that's a problem. It's just procrastination is so ingrained within us. I did a report on procrastination, and simple things like, I can't remember where the source was, but like people registering, if they have something in the mail and they have to register it by this date, they generally wait till the last day, last 2 days, or if people have reports to do. In school, in school is a perfect example, and a lot of us can totally relate. We put it off till the day before the test. And what this does, it creates the sense of built-in stress. When you procrastinate and you have loose things up in the air, you haven't kind of tied those knots and finished those things off, completed tasks, it builds this debilitating insecurity that we have within us. You no longer feel like you're a person that is true to your word. Being true to your word and having great follow-through starts not only with other people, but it starts with yourself. And even just simple things like keeping your room tidy and neat, keeping your workspace tidy and neat, keeping your papers, documents, your clothes, your possessions organized, simplified. You get this really, it's like a reserve of energy that you're able to harness, because it's no longer, a lot of our energy is being drained. It's like cracks in the dam. All this energy is being drained because we have all these loose ends and all these things that are not in its proper place or organized. I'm not saying you have to become obsessive compulsive, but it's just having that inner glow that you are self-disciplined, and you're self-disciplined in the small things, and then you start increasing it to the big things. And things like nutrition and your eating habits. Instead of saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to eat healthy, you start, okay, I'm going to eat one piece of fruit a day. And it becomes easier and easier every area in your life as you start practicing the art of self-discipline. And that's it. Our problem, we want the magic pill, the magic spiritual pill that'll make us feel better without having we don't have to make a sacrifice. We don't have to say no in our lives. We still want everything, all the pleasurable things, but we don't want to reap the consequences of those things. So when we start practicing self-discipline, and making that your focal point, instead of looking for this magic pill, this magic spiritual pill that's going to make you feel better, you find that now your energy is kind of centered within. It's not being drained by all this chaos and drama and problems in your life. And you just get to keep and harness your own energy and spend it in more productive or more ways that you're more passionate about, whether it be art, reading, writing, hiking, exercising, nature. It's now everything is a lot more efficient. And just like cars need to be fuel efficient, we as human beings will go much, much farther if we have a efficient lifestyle and learn how to properly manage our time, learn how to do things without procrastinating, and just have that skill. It's a skill set of self-discipline. Now, some things that are very helpful when trying to make the shift into a more disciplined life is accountability partner. Huge. And then consequences. So, you talk to your accountability partner, this is what I'm planning to do, and you start small. If it's an exercise program and you want to start walking, you tell your accountability partner, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to walk every day for an hour, you say, okay, I'm going to walk for 7 minutes. For the first 2 weeks, all I'm going to do is walk 7 minutes. And you're starting that 7 minutes is like a seedling. And you're planting that seedling, and you're ingraining that habit of now you can walk 7 minutes, and then the next month maybe you increase it to 10, so on and so forth. That's another great thing, is the accountability partner. The other thing is we need to be gentle with ourselves. And I find that if I have a little bit of perfectionist tendencies, as I'm sure many of you do, and when I take back the controls and I kind of lax and don't let myself be such a perfectionist, what happens? I'm more eager to do things in the present and not procrastinate. Because I procrastinate because I think, it's going to be so hard, it's going to be so difficult, and it's going to take so much effort. But if I pull back, instead of doing 100%, I say, okay, I'm going to do 70%. Way more effective.